Hello, everyone.
Hello, beautiful
We
people.
are so happy to be back already. usually, lately we haven't done streams very often. So, um, this is good news because it means we have new information to share. And I'm just going to say it. It's encouraging.
Yes.
I'm excited. Um, well, First, we wanted to talk about, I'll lay out kind of an agenda. So, first, we want to talk about landlord issues, what's happening with Heidi's place of residence. We're going to talk about the updates regarding the landfill search and what police are doing and what they're not doing. We're going to talk about where Heidi's car is or isn't. And then we're going to talk about why the police haven't put up some funds to find Heidi or anybody, right? Because that's
I,
kind of weird.
I want to add. I just want to add something.
hmm
The F is really what this whole thing is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a lot of um, a lot of clarity. Yet, uh, we haven't found her yet.
We've not
But
found her yet.
we're getting there. We're getting there, and we're gonna reach out to you guys all for help as well in some things. And yeah, Mo, take it away.
Yeah. We need your help. We need your help. Okay. We need everyone to rally together and find out what happened to Heidi. Because right now, there's a ton of rumors floating around, and there's not a lot that's being at least publicly discussed from
We
the
need
police.
people to come forward for the love of God,
We really
please.
do. I'll
But
put our
just
email there,
tell somebody what you know, please.
modoninvestigations@gmail.com. We will not share your information unless you give us permission, or it's public information. We don't want to hurt anyone. There
Mm-mm.
are we've upset some people when we speak about them. Our intention is not to do anything to harm anyone, just to find Heidi, see what happened to her. We need to give the family justice because right now there doesn't seem to be a lot of it.
There's
And there's not
very
a lot
little.
of activity happening around this case, and it's a complex case and it requires a lot of minds. Okay, that's not just us, it's our team, it's our 20 plus team on Discord, on Facebook. It's people that we communicate regularly with on email, so who haven't been named. So again, if you have any information, if you have a tip, use a VPN. You can create a fake email, and send
Before
us
we
that
get you, please
information.
step forward.
Please.
Before we put you on blast, please step forward. We're begging you.
Please, please,
And there
please.
is a little boy, and I have to say this, who deserves answers, who deserves some peace, who needs to put this to rest, who needs to be a kid. And he is having an extremely, extremely difficult time every day this goes on. Please, please, please. For nothing else, please, for this little boy.
And I think this brings us to our first topic, being the landlord and what we've heard from neighbors around what's going on at Heidi's house. So maybe I'll hand this one over to you, Dawn, because this is incredibly upsetting knowing there is a child involved.
Yes. A child who's very, very much involved because um, he, at this point, can't even get any of his belongings. His toys are being held in that house. The landlord that owns that property is not allowing anybody, including that little boy, because today Jim and Jim went over to attempt to get some of Bond's things, toys, and was refused. Refused with great difficulty, and it's beyond me the lack of empathy that is happening. And they are actually very this close to violating the laws of California regarding an eviction, even if somebody, quote, abandons the property. So now it all has to be done legally. So that's even more that Jim has to deal with, as if he didn't have both hands full already. And eventually this is all going to work itself out. But the damage that's being done to this little boy, the longer it goes, is heartbreaking. And people need to really get a grip and look down deep inside themselves and do the right thing. So with that, the landlord is because they can because they are, and no one's gone to court yet. I know that Jim went over and nicely tried to work out something with the owner of the house, and somehow now claiming damages have been done to the apartment. And I think we can all look back and remember when I believe the LAPD as well, but Jim did a press conference, and stated how pristine, the apartment was in pristine condition, and all of a sudden it's damaged. So since that time, and we all know that.
How has it been damaged? I mean, and I'm asking this as in the world, like, who has keys to go in there and damage it? I'm just saying, like,
we know one person that has a key.
We do know one person who has a key. We're not, again, speculation, whatever, speculation warning.
The fact is, we know one person that has a key. We don't know if there are more, but from what I've been told, that is the only person that has a copy of the key. And that's the person who went in the first time by herself. And who also said it was
all over the news, condition. Public information.
Right. So here, they're at a standstill. Bond can't even get his toys.
And this is horrible. I mean, if you just put the law aside, okay?
We do know who the landlord is. Yes.
We do know who the landlord is.
And if you go back in our past streams, you can find out, because we've said that before.
It's the person who is the landlord owns Helm Square LLC. This is public information. You can search it yourself. You can figure out who that is. We're not going to blast their name here. We're trying to to just make sure that we're not upsetting anybody. But at the same time, I have a hard time putting myself in the landlord's shoes, knowing what this family and little boy is going through and behaving in the way that they are. I mean, if this is over a couple months' rent, that's insane to me.
Less than a couple family. Yeah.
To put the family through this kind of emotional trauma on top of everything else. Are you kidding me? That's
so we're seeing, as we've seen with the rest of the people, a lot of people connected with Heidi's, unfortunately connected with Heidi's life. There's a lot of greed going on, and it wouldn't be hard to work out a deal, and the family is very willing to do that. The landlord's having none of that. I personally, I don't even think somebody went in there and did anything to it. I think that this person wants the belongings that are inside the home, and that's the feeling that correct. But they don't. You have to go to court, and right now with the COVID, court cases are backed up, and no one's supposed to be going in there if you want to get legal about it. But it also says in the law, do you have that by any chance?
The one I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, the first article, the consequences for
Yes.
the removal. Yep, I'll share that. So we're looking into what the actual law states. There we go. And I came across this. Now, this is from 2018. I don't know how accurate it is. Let me just zoom in here a little bit. So the landlord can only evict the tenant through the courts if they fail to pay rent. Reasons for eviction, financial burden,
You can scroll
private.
down actually if you
Yeah,
want. Like,
yeah. But we know that this landlord owns a ton of
well, we don't
properties.
know that. We have found another property connected. We can only, yeah. But yes, definitely one that's active, a different address. But it's not even the, I don't know. I could give my opinion, but there's not enough solid
Yeah. So you can
proof to
see,
give
I
my
mean,
opinion, but I really would like to right now.
yeah, the landlord can't dispose of anything if it's valued less than $300. If it's more than $300 rather,
They have to go to court.
they have to go to court. So, they can't, I mean, it's just crazy what they're doing.
So when a
Um,
tenant, can I read this real quick?
yeah.
Okay. So when a tenant defaults on the lease, which is what has happened, the landlord must serve him a formal notice to correct the matter or quit the property. If the tenant fails to satisfy the notice, the landlord will file a formal complaint with the local municipal or superior court and ask to have a summons issued for the tenant to appear in court for an unlawful detainer lawsuit. Granted, we know that she's not around to do that. So, go on to the next section, and it says prior to the court's decision about the complaint's validity, the landlord cannot exercise any self-help or retaliatory measures against the tenant. He cannot remove the tenant's personal belongings from the property, for instance, even though he may feel justified in doing so to recover lost rent. Only after the court has decided in favor of the landlord will it issue a writ of possession that orders the sheriff to remove the tenant and his belongings. The tenant will have 5 days from that writ's issuance to voluntarily vacate the property. If he fails to do so, the sheriff will exercise the writ and forcibly remove him with his possessions. See, here's the interesting part. Is obviously we know she is technically has abandoned because she's not here legally. It's called abandonment. And when a tenant has voluntarily vacated the property and has abandoned his personal belongings, the landlord may legally dispose of them after notifying the tenant. And in this case, it would be Jim, because Jim has, right now he is he's in charge of bonds. Help me out here.
His, like the custody, his full custody.
No,
Or Bond's
the
property.
estate, the
Yeah,
estate.
right,
So he's the executor right now,
right.
as far as paperwork, and he brought that with him, by the way, today. Let's see. His notice must advise the tenant or tenants when and where the belongings can be retrieved, and any storage fee must be paid to release them. It must also note that the landlord's intentions for the property if the tenant fails to retrieve it after the deadline has passed. They may legally dispose of it if it's valued less than $300. Property more than $300, now get this, must be sold at public auction, and the proceeds must be surrendered to the county when it may return it to the landlord. Okay, after the fact. The point is, this is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, and it's just we understand that it's not a normal landlord tenant dispute, but this is wrong, and it just kills me. It hurts my heart that there are so many heartless people in
It's
this
wrong
world.
not just on a legal level, but just on a human level. Period. I don't care what business you're involved in, like, have a friggin' heart.
Yeah.
That to me is just crazy.
So
Not to
now
allow a boy to get his
his
toys. Like,
toys.
what are you gonna do?
Like,
What are you gonna sell them? Like, really, is that what you're holding on to?
so
Really,
now that
that's
leads
the
our
hill you're gonna
suspicious
die on?
minds, that leads us to think what the hell else might be going on, which we can't answer right now, but it's a good thing. It's a good question to consider.
Yeah, good question, just JP. Isn't there some kind of child advocate that could speak for Bond to ask the landlord
Well,
for his toys? I mean,
well,
this
he,
person clearly has no conscience.
well, no, hold on.
Well,
The,
I
the
mean,
advocate is
stipulation.
Jim. Jim is the executor. He went to court and asked to be the executor of the estate, which means all of Bond's belongings. So he is an advocate, and to put to for the court to assign a children's advocate or attorney to Bond in this situation would be way more traumatic for the child than
Hmm.
it would be worth getting his things.
Kara saying a victim's advocate. That's how I was seeing it as well. But I mean, it's tough, Jim. If you think, like, put yourself in Jim's shoes, like, he's wearing so many hats right now, and then having to legally deal with this sort of garbage where you're not even aware of, the law and that sort of. I mean, you'd have to educate yourself. It takes a lot of time, and he's trying to keep his head above water. You can only imagine what he's
I mean,
going
he
through.
started the legal process to do it, but the courts are backed up, and it's going to take a long time. And he's been to court a lot on this.
It's
So
horrible. It's horrible, Ridley.
out of the lease, okay. Well, so this is a month to month. I know people are heartless, Ridley. I'm so sorry, by the way.
Yeah,
Um,
horrible.
but it's a month to month. So considering that that there were deposits put down when the rental agreement started, uh, the rent's not really the issue. He's claiming damages, which I think who knows if it happened or not. It could have happened when the police went in there to search. It could have happened, or it could not have happened at all. There's no way really of knowing. But this is wrong and this close to breaking the law. And if he does that, there's a $500 civil assessment that he's going to have to pay off the bat. But if he touches anything, but there's been talk, and I think we've mentioned it in our lives over the last couple of weeks, of people wanting to get in and get her things, and that's come to this now.
Hmm. So,
And
if anyone has any information around
yes,
how to get a child advocate, how to help the family, please, please, please let us know. We will pass
yeah.
that on to them because they need all the help they could get. But absolutely, I couldn't imagine denying a child of their belongings. Like, who does that? I don't know. I guess this person. Again, that's
So
Helm Square
yeah.
LLC. Just put it out
Yes,
there.
and then yeah, and the owner. If you want to go back in our streams, we've mentioned the name before, or you can look it up. We're not gonna make this anything more difficult for
Hmm.
Bond and Jim. So
So, with that said, moving on to what's happened with the landfill search. Let's say it together. Nothing.
nothing.
They have
They are done.
stopped the search.
Yeah, at
No
the
more.
landfill.
They have
Yes,
not
the
found anything in the landfill. Wow. Okay. So
which
that
which in a way you could see that on you could take that good or bad. I mean, thank
so you have to
goodness,
ask yourself,
right?
why? Why have they stopped the landfill? Now, all of this is speculation. We have no idea why they've stopped. They haven't even really released a statement around this. This is
I'm sure they
just
will soon, but they haven't yet. No.
I hope they do. I mean, I personally, I can only speak from my own standpoint, but I am losing faith in the activities of the LAPD. But again, it could be that they're working their butts off, trying to chase down tips. I just know
Hopefully.
that I haven't gotten my call back, so But we do know that they're now focusing their search on, let's say
Da,
it
da, da,
together,
dong.
the
Hope
Hope
and
and Flower.
flower.
Finally. Finally.
So
So that's
that's
encouraging. We
it
don't
is
know anymore.
encouraging.
But if you have any tips related to the Hope and Flower, we now know the police are focused on that. So if you want to
Please
send it
step
our way,
forward. Save some
great. If you
time.
want
Save some
to
money. Do
directly
it.
email or call the LAPD, just remind them who Heidi Plank is, because they
Yes.
need to be reminded, apparently.
No, we need to get her name out there, out there, out there. Which brings us to, can we talk about that real quick? Or that's up to you.
Uh, the lack
You
of
go, girl.
reward.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay.
So, there have been two women who have recently been murdered, and immediately there was a $250,000 reward put up, and a big chunk of it was from the city. So let me show you. This is the first. We mentioned this before. Here we go. This is, whoops, that's not what I wanted to share.
And by the way, prayers to their families, and they are so fortunate that they have that reward up, and that's just wonderful. And I pray,
Yes.
we're keeping those families in our thoughts and hope that, well, one of them is already, they have the man in custody. Thank goodness, because that probably is what got that random resident's attention enough and got her name out there.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't this happening for Heidi?
This was just a few days ago. This was published January 18th. UCLA graduate Brianna Kupfer, 24, stabbed to death in a random daytime attack. And let's see here. Los Angeles Police Department is offering a $250,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the suspect. Awesome. Over $200,000 came from community donors. Also awesome. That means that remaining 50,000 came from the LAPD, your hard-earned tax dollars. Okay? Let that sink in. This is great. I am not saying this shouldn't be done. I think for all cases, no matter who you are, where you're from, what your socioeconomic status is, the community should be rallying around you. Now, why the hell
Not taking away
hasn't
anything
this been
for
done
those
for
families, but
Heidi?
yeah.
There's room for everyone. We know the LAPD has a nice hefty budget. Okay? We know that there are lots of rich people, not just that are just out there in LA, but who are involved and connected to Heidi
And
and
politicians.
and
They can
politicians.
they can allot that money.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is so wonderful to hear for Brianna and her family. I mean, the of course the context is terrible. Like this is so so sad. But I wish the same focus was on Heidi's case. Like why really? Like who
Well,
else is reporting on this?
well,
Nobody.
and then today, did you? I'm sorry.
Yes, of course. Let me I'll share my
And as grateful as I was that that family is getting help, my heart sank at the same time. Like
Is this the one you're talking
mouth,
about?
yeah.
So this poor woman, teenager, Tioni Theus, I
And they
don't
have
know if
found
I'm
her
uh, killing the $110,000 with the addition of 50,000 from the governor
for information.
and 50,000 from the LA count board. 50,000 from the city council, wonderful, and 10,000 from the county board of supervisors. Again, and this points out that right, that they compare it to Brianna and say that, you know, we really need to focus on people who of color who also deal with this. I completely agree. Abso-freaking-lutely. There needs to be more attention on the disappearance of people of color. We have the same problem here in Canada, especially with people who are Indigenous. But we should also be
But missing
focusing
is
on
missing.
Heidi. I think, like, regardless of, again, race, socioeconomic status, everyone deserves a fair chance. And so this is why we're begging everyone here today, like, share Heidi's story with people you know who might be able to offer a donation. we're looking to figure out a way to collect money where
What are
it's,
the steps we need
yeah,
to
what are the
take to
steps we
make
need to
this
take?
happen?
We don't want this to go into our bank account. We want it to
Nope.
go into a fund that's specifically to find Heidi. Hire a PI, do something where we can offer a reward for information leading to the conviction of the person or people who have been involved in Heidi's disappearance
Yeah.
and ultimately her death.
Yeah. And this woman has a child that is needs to have some closure or answers. He's in a lot of pain. So if anybody has any information on how to go about doing this, we have not had a whole lot of success getting information from the local police force department.
And to be honest, I think we've done a lot of the work. And I did say hire a PI, but
yeah,
I think we should just hand over our, like, I am so ready to speak to police about every single person that
it comes
we've
down to
looked into.
somebody needs to talk, and that's where we're at. We know so much. We know more than we put on our streams. We know so much. We have so much information, and let's just say they have that and more. What they need is someone to say something, to fill those blanks in, give them enough information. That's where we're at. Yeah.
And the
We're not
other
gonna
thing
stop.
is,
Now we're still digging, trust me. That's
what
not
did we find
stopping.
out today about her car?
So
You know who doesn't have it? Let's say it together again. The police.
yeah.
We
Police,
found out
well,
the police don't have her car.
it has been. They did look at it. They went through it. They took whatever they needed, any type of evidence that may or may not have been in the vehicle. So that was done, and it's now it's debatable. So apparently, on record, on paper, this tow company does tow for the LAPD. Why it's not in the LAPD impound is beyond me. I don't know. However, they are now asking for quite a bit of money for them to get the car out. So that's
here's
not
the towing company. And, let's be honest, I never expect a towing company to get good reviews on Yelp.
right.
But it does say, and I've had my tow card towed several times, of course. Okay, so a little bit of education for you all. Yelp, if you pay as a company, if you pay Yelp for like an actual account or something, a premium account, they will put your highest ratings up first, always.
So
Okay?
we always go
So
to the bottom of the page.
that's why we go to the bottom, or you sort the lowest rated first to really get the information. And there's way more low uh, ratings than anything else. So falsely claiming towed by the company. When I called the police station, they denied they had anything to do with it. $460 they charged this person to get their car out. I have had my car towed downtown Vancouver once and Squamish once, and it was like, I don't know, $200 max, including the ticket that I got. So
We're in four digits to get this out.
This is
they want Heidi's license to get it out, which is for
$700.
So what is really going on here?
And why would the police give it to that? Like, is there some sort of speculation? Is there some sort of business relationship? Like, do they, like, what? And how can they charge $700?
No. They want thousands for Heidi's.
Thousands.
Because they're in the mid-thousands.
Probably counting every single day. We've kept it here for
even
so
if they
many
had
days.
that money, they want her license in order to get it out, which now Jim has to go to the LAPD and you have it cleared, if that's even possible. And this is ridiculous. This needs to stop. This needs to come to an end. We need answers. Like, this is beyond. Every turn is another stone wall. It's another brick wall for everybody. It doesn't make sense. Mo, can you make sense of it? Because I really, I it does not
Again,
make any sense.
I'm a person who looks at the law and I agree with the law, but I believe that there should be leeway in policy if it means to have empathy as a human being. So, this is another case where a quick search would see that this woman, Heidi Plank, has gone missing. She has a family, she has a little boy. You can assume that the family is going through a lot of hardship and emotional trauma, and yet you're now making sure that the ex-husband now has to go back to the police department, get and then pay thousands of dollars just to get her car back. She's
Yeah.
gone missing and she's presumed to not be alive anymore. Like, give me a break. Like, this is peanuts to this company, given all of these reviews. Like, this person, like, these people are paying $700, $300 here and there, and then they're charging, who knows how much money they get per day. This
That
is
brings me back to
crazy.
my original comment. The F. uh, do you have the Yelp review that talks about the questionable who they really are? Did you read that? I know you read part. You
Was this
got the.
shared? Where
It's
was
the
it
one you were
shared?
just talking about. I think.
The $700 one?
Yeah, I think it's in there. Did you read the whole thing?
Oh, let me go back.
It's quite interesting, though.
This one, the first one?
Let me see.
These towing companies are illegal. This towing company is illegal and unregistered, falsely claiming Hollenbeck PD got my car towed by this company. And when I called the police department station, they denied that they had anything to do or affiliated with this towing company. They are notorious for predatory towing, and their employees cannot even. Well, that's when they towed my car from right in front of my house. I went to their office immediately and asked for any written authorization of who ordered the tow. They cannot give me anything, and they just gave me a $460 bill to get my car back. Terrible employee attitude and ignorance of the law.
So it's really interesting to me. The first sentence of that really concerns me
Where's
because
customer
they
service?
didn't get this information about where her car was from the law enforcement. They
So
got they
this
had a
is
receipt.
interesting. Yeah, my dad's car was stolen on January 4th. We filed a police report on the 5th. We got a letter from the insurance company stating the car was towed to this place on January 7th. Nobody bothered to call. But if you run the plates and see if it's stolen vehicle, why wouldn't you call? Why not call the owner? They
Yeah.
want $700 to get the money back. There should have been some communication, especially because no one broke the law except the thief who stole the car. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
none of
Oh
this
my
is making sense
gosh.
to me.
That doesn't, yeah, exactly.
Something's got to give.
Like, it's so frustrating to us both, and we're not even like, we're not the family of Heidi. We're not Heidi's best friend. We're not Heidi's son. And yet, like, all of this crap is ongoing. And all they want is some peace, some justice. And yet these little people all around are trying to get their money here and there. They're trying to make everything difficult. Like, I'm sorry, but if I were anybody with a conscience, a little, like, a sliver of empathy,
The level of
just let
greed
it go.
is just
Oh my
sickening.
gosh. Ugh.
Yeah.
Um, well, we just had the one more thing to talk about. I'll post our StreamYard link here if you want to call in and ask any questions. Otherwise, we do have another stream coming up on Friday.
Woohoo.
We're having the lovely Derek Galanis back from the Galanis crime family. So, because we've learned so much more about companies and LLCs and how white collar crime works, we want to throw some questions his way. So, if you have any questions that you'd like us to ask Derek Galanis, whose brother is in prison for many, many years, and, like, you can order his book, we'll have the link up if you'd like to read it. Please send it our way, or you can actually join the stream when we
Yeah,
do it on Friday.
this case has really opened up more than Heidi. Obviously, it's really expanded our knowledge of a lot of like financial crime, white collar crime and political the misuse of power. And personally, because I live here, the how corrupt Los Angeles is, the wealth that is involved with the politics and with money and everything from stocks to cryptocurrency to silencing people to covering up. You hear about it, but we've really gotten deep into it. So I think Derek's gonna it's a little lesson, at least for me. It's a little mini crash course on some of the things that we don't understand. So.
So something we like to do sometimes is hashtag Heidi Plank and see what comes up on all the different social platforms. And we've done that and found this well, I guess I think he's a YouTuber as well, but his name is da.ron on
He's great,
TikTok.
by the way.
He is
He
awesome. We like Daron. And I'll just show you
Fascinating.
what I see here. So like he's
actually
talks about Heidi
checking
Plank
the case
there.
out himself.
Love it.
He lives in the area and has been following the case.
So we were kind of looking at his stuff, and where did we find? Wow, he just has so much. You can actually pay him for a private tour.
He is hilarious, by the way. I mean,
He's
very
funny.
it's very intriguing.
It is
very intriguing. Right? Wait. Let's see. Go back down a little bit. Is it Let It Hang? Is that it?
Where is that? Oh, this one? This one?
I think
No.
No,
He's
okay.
Skydiving.
Okay.
I wish.
Oh,
I want to go skydiving. There was
it's
one.
a little experiment.
There was this one, the terminal velocity.
Yeah, but is it okay? That's the bottle one. Okay. But he actually does the scientific aspects of it.
Oh, it says the bottles didn't reach the bottom.
Right. And so they were trying to figure out where it stopped and how fast it went and how fast it had to go, how heavy it had to be. He really gets into it.
Interesting. And he does another one where we're trying to find. Do you know if it was after that one?
Keep going up the way you're going.
This
I
one?
think.
Science and
That's
Logistics.
it. I believe that's it. This is at Hope and Flower, by the way. Oh, that's not it. Oh shoot! But there's another one.
He loves that trash.
He enjoys doing that. He just does. It's like my husband was also saying how when he was younger they used to do that all the time, and because he went to SC, right near there.
Yeah. And I'm such a feminist, but that is such a boy thing.
It is. It's definitely a boy thing.
So cute. Where is that then?
It is. Keep going down. Maybe I guess I thought it was above, but maybe not.
Let it. Oh no.
And that's what I thought it was. There's a
I know. I got excited.
I really, really want you to see this stuff.
This one deep. No.
No. This guy is great.
Cincinnati, Utah. Cecil Hotel.
Cecil. It'll reopen. It's reopened, I believe. Wait, go back.
Wow. No, they're making it for low income housing or something, aren't they?
Right. Which will backfire.
I mean, go back up.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I thought I saw, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Things.
Your package. Logistics.
Oh yeah, so no, it's keep going the way you're going then. If that's the package one. Okay. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, we had a train wreck out here, and if you're missing an Amazon package, it's probably on the train tracks in downtown Los Angeles.
It's like the Vancouver barge.
I
There was a
didn't.
barge that got loose off a big ship, and it came onto the onto the beach. It just stuck there, and they
Oh my
put up a
gosh.
sign, barge chilling beach. So funny because we have a
Wow.
dude chilling park.
A
Anyway,
what?
we have a park called Dude Chilling Park.
That's
The
amazing.
Vancouver board has, yeah, they have, they're really funny. Um, let's find it,
Oh, wait.
guys.
Uh,
Logistics and operations? No. Semi-pro towing, physics and geometry. I feel like we could just look at this forever while they last.
I literally watched all of them last night, and I was rolling. I was laughing. It just he walks by and he's like, sorry, I can't park there," to a cop, or a wrecked car. A car
Oh,
is like
there's,
totally wrecked.
is that Hope and Flower?
Yes, it is. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I can't park there, dude."
Oh my gosh, that's so
Okay,
funny.
let's
Is it
see.
this? No, I don't know what that is. Guys, you're coming on a ride with us. Look at this.
It's
We
really
should do
amazing.
one day we should just let everyone in and watch us do our stuff because
Yeah,
it's all
definitely.
over the place. Here it
It's.
is. Is that
I would.
birthday science? This one?
That would be it.
Yes. That's interesting.
Too bad we can't hear it, but
You can't hear it?
no, no sound. You guys tell us in the chat. Can you hear sound? Maybe it's just me.
No, it's probably, I mean, I can reshare it. Hold on. But all the what they're saying is all on
Yeah,
the
this is back in August, so it
Mhm.
does. It is not
Here, I'll
when
reshare it with
after
the
she went missing or anything, but it's quite interesting. No audio, okay, but it is
I
quite
think it's
interesting.
yeah, here. There we go. Now you can see, you can hear it.
Oh,
Okay.
something.
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get up. I bought it on Amazon.
Bye.
Oh no.
That's how you do it.
Oh no.
They dropped the camera.
Oh jeez.
With 2 lines.
So here they go. This is where it comes out.
Oh my gosh.
There's the visual. That they so I mean
Dig.
they found it.
Wow.
That's ingenious though.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? Dig.
Anyway.
Nice.
I feel better
Okay.
about I feel better about that entertaining me now that we know that nothing's been found where they were looking. So yeah. But anyway, I thought it was a really interesting experiment, and it's a really good visual.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody, if you happen to know anything about that, please contact someone.
Yep. So if you want to call in, there's still a little bit of time. If not, we can cap it off. But again, we have a really exciting stream happening on Friday. Hopefully, we'll learn even more, given we've done so much more work on this case since then. And hopefully, some updates on.
If we get anything
the
between now and
exciting-
then, we will do an emergency stream. I
Of
promise.
course, we will. And I was just going to say, if we get any personal updates, we will also share it.
Oh yes.
Oh, look
someone
who's
called in.
joined.
Well,
One of our favorite
hello,
people.
beautiful Allie.
Oh. Oh, can I be heard? Am I heard?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, you
perfect.
are heard.
Hello.
Yep, I'm sure everybody noticed I ain't been around for a while. I was on a break, and I have 8 crazy puppies in my house. I
Eight.
make sure I
Count
never
them,
want to see a
8.
puppy again in my life.
It's a lot of puppies.
It is.
Well, we missed you.
Thank you. I missed you ladies and everybody, and yeah, being able to productively work on this case. I know that we have all grown very attached to Heidi and her loved ones through everything. And
Our hearts are in this.
our hearts are in this. And I wanted to come on, make sure everybody, remembers that everybody in this is a person, and
Yeah.
all of us are people too. And to do everything you do with some compassion, because all three of us, all of our team, we are all people with lives, children, loved ones of our own, and that's why we do this. We come on here, we dig deep. The lives are a minute of the work compared to everything else that goes on. And I think that we do everything we do with heart, and that is very different from what a lot of people do. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody who comes on and watches, and everybody who works with us, all 20 something now of our team. I do want to put out there, if you happen to be somebody watching this that knows anything about what has happened, even if you're not doing it for, I don't think that the people involved in this are going to care about $100,000, because they're mostly people with a lot of money. But think about having, everybody has a mom, everybody has somebody in their life they love. Think if it was them. I think that whoever knows what has happened to Heidi needs to do it because it's the right thing to do. Think if it was your mom that went missing. Like, we need to think from a point of heart. I think that's a big step for the world in general.
Compassion.
Think of if it was personal, because then you know what is the right thing to do and what you would want done if you were the one in that situation. So we have the tip line down in the comments. You can, or even on the screen, right?
Well, that was the crisis text line, but here is our email. You can VPN, like you create a fake email, do whatever you want. We
Have somebody else call the information.
have somebody else
Whatever.
call in. Whatever you
Ellie,
need to
that was
do.
so well said.
Yeah,
Thank you.
totally agree. Kimberly said
If
that
you
too.
don't even want to be the one to call in, there's our email address right going across. Email it to us. We'll call it in.
Yeah. And if you say you want to remain anonymous and use your actual email, we'll keep that to ourselves too. We
We
are
believe in
just looking for
discretion
answers.
and not putting people that want to do the right thing in a situation where they feel uncomfortable or unsafe. And we're a tough group of ladies. Intimidation doesn't work here.
And men, there are a few men in our
And men, yep. We have some men. It's mostly women though.
It is mostly,
But we do
the men
have
are
like
very
some really
insightful.
special, really special
We
guys.
have some of the best women I've ever met. You two are like top two. I consider you two family.
We do.
In fact, I got a
Likewise.
picture of them puppies on my fridge.
And I'm still waiting for my Christmas card, Allie.
I haven't gotten them done yet. I'm doing New Year's
I-
cards
I-
because she didn't. The photographer we had do our Christmas pictures, that you guys seen, is a family member, and she's an up and coming photographer. She had a lot of Christmas sets, so I wasn't in a rush for mine.
Fair enough.
I have to say, you are so creative, Mo.
Right?
So
Is that my
creative.
card?
It is. I keep it right here next to my desk.
Aww.
Because it's all
I
handmade.
cried when I read the note you wrote
I
me.
know. Oh my God, it's so amazing.
Nice. Well, I have a picture of you and Rich on my fridge.
You'll have one of my kids.
Yay!
We did kid pictures, and
Yay!
Mocha, the puppy that we're keeping. Oh, I'm sorry. You can see. I hope nobody's snake phobic or whatever.
Oh my gosh,
Snake
I love
phobic or
Oh, I will
arachnophobic.
make sure that my husband does not
Spiders.
view that part.
Is
He
this
is terrified.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
crawling
snakes,
around
so
in there too.
that's so cool.
That's my very old 16-year-old California king snake.
Ooh,
Wow, how old do
my
they
He's
live
goodness.
until?
That's the oldest snake I've ever seen, so I have no idea. But he
Has he
don't.
ever gotten loose?
No, he don't care as long as he's fed. He don't. He ain't trying to go
No, and I don't want
anywhere.
to hear the details about being fed. I can't deal with it.
Hey, we eat animals.
Well, I
Try
mean,
not
you
to.
know, he could eat crackers too. Maybe no, he wouldn't.
Crackers.
But
Cheese and crackers.
Do the
as
crackers
long
have
as
to be
he
in the belly
is
of another
sustained, he doesn't
animal?
care.
Ugh.
He eats Kellogg's.
Ding dong,
He's fed
hostess.
humanely. I will say that
That's good.
because that can be an issue for some people. He is.
The visuals.
Well,
get me a
Anyways, I'm
little-
gonna shut up about my snake.
Yeah, that's a good
He was
idea.
just
Yeah,
there,
I
and
know.
I
I was
noticed
just about
he
to
was
go into
there.
About dog food.
Way off topic.
Well, some people in Vancouver feed their dogs vegan, which is
It's
crazy.
very bad for their health. Very
So
bad.
is raw food. No vets recommend raw food, just so
No.
everyone knows. I don't know why it's been a craze
It
for
has been a
humans.
fad for a
Yeah.
bit, I think, and
We go no grain.
right,
Well, yeah,
fillers
but even
are what you
even
want
that
to avoid. Not
is
even, but you still have to have some plant matter usually.
No, we do sweet potatoes or somebody just told me about pumpkin today.
pumpkin,
Pumpkin is
bacon,
Yeah,
Very
pumpkin
good
and
for
tuna.
dogs.
Her dogs.
Yes.
We have similar dogs, and she gives them pumpkin and tuna.
If you
If
put
they have an
pumpkin,
upset belly,
Yeah.
it is the best thing to give them.
Yeah, he does a
same
lot.
with rice. But if you put pumpkin puree in like a Kong toy and put it in the fridge, such a good
Really?
Oh,
way to
yeah.
So
be.
funny.
Oh yeah, I do it for Billy all the time.
Aw, Billy.
Yep.
Billy hasn't
It
been
keeps
up
them
on your
busy
lap.
for half a minute.
I know, Billy was kind of Billy.
Mine's
That's
pouting.
all I need
He
to
is
do.
so pretty.
Mine's over there
He's
pouting.
late.
Mom,
Come on,
Mine are
Say
lazy
hello.
and asleep.
come on.
Billy.
There
Well,
he is.
it's 11 for them. They don't care.
There he is.
They're like, what?
Yeah. I'm gonna bring these guys out. Okay, guys, we're heading into
thank you,
non-Heidi
everybody.
land. But yes, thank you, Ali, for popping on. We missed you. We love you.
I love you all. Thank you, everybody,
yeah.
for all the
We
hard
love
work you do.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
I'm
yeah,
gonna pop
Thank
out
you
of
for
here and
all your
let
hard
you
work.
ladies wrap things up.
Love you, Allie.
Love you, Ali.
Good
And
night.
I just want to say thank you to our team, each and every one of you. Every time we have a stream, I need to shout out how much you're appreciated and love your brains and your hearts. We love you guys. You guys are amazing and intelligent, and thank you. Thank you.
We wouldn't have done this without you, and please send us your information or send it directly to the police, but we can also do that for you if you want to remain super anonymous, whatever it is. We'll work with you so that you're ultra comfortable with whatever you're sharing with us. And please like and subscribe if you're not already
that's
doing
another
that.
thing. You guys,
We always
let's
forget
get
to-
this. Yeah, we got to get our numbers
We want to
up.
get at least 1,000 subscribers. We have 700.
We need to get Heidi's name out there too, and so the
Yeah.
more likes we get,
So-
so you guys please like and share. It doesn't cost you anything; it's free right now.
Yeah,
so
we're not
please
making
like and
any money.
share.
This isn't a money thing.
No, it's not a money thing.
We want to make so that more people hear the story because it's not being run in the news right now.
Exactly.
So we want to
And
continue.
hopefully
with
next time we
this hard
talk,
work.
we'll have a little more information about our little.
Yeah, our little secret, little surprise happening behind the scenes.
Wait for it all to come
yeah.
together.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, right,
Easy
Billy?
peasy.
Okay. All right. Love you guys.
Go love your pups. All right, you guys. Thank you. See you soon.
Stay safe.